Tonight, we begin the biggest season ever of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. 2022A will mark the 25th season as we cross into 10 years of competition. Over those 10 years, 187 drivers have raced, and we're going to begin this championship with a full field of cars. In fact, we had pre-qualifying to eliminate a couple of the cars. We'll go over that in a minute. On a competition side, we're going to ask ourselves, can Luke Krause make it 3 championship victories in a row? It's only been done once in the past 10 years, and it was Dylan Livengood way back in 2012C, 2013A, and 2013B. As Chad Irvine's down in the production truck for us this evening, Dylan Livengood next to me in the commentary box, I am Josh Mertz as we welcome you to live Lights to Flag coverage of the Pit Viper Brands Hatch Bonanza on the Automotive Sports Network. As we welcome in our partners from KES Industries, Keep 'em Spinning Industries, Adaptive Controls for Sim Racing. Thank you so much to Mario Bonfante Jr. for all of your support as we get ready for this 25th season, along with Vermont Sports Car, the exclusive home of Subaru Motorsports USA, as we appreciate Sim Racer Coin and Nitro Circus, but we have parted ways, obviously enough, as we begin this season. Last season, all about Luke Krause, 7 wins for the now double defending champion, 9 heat wins. We do have a couple of big names that's going to pop up in the KES Industries NASA Rallycross Challenge throughout this season, and you'll have to just tune in to find out. As our coverage today brought to you by Pit Viper, demand respect and authority, as we do have 4 cars that did not make the night show this evening: Crisco, Ian Fisher, Mario Bonfante Jr., and Tyler Milligan. But the remaining 32 drivers battled it out through the qualifying session, as we will go over our race format here in the United Kingdom as we are just about to wrap up practice. Format for today's race: we're going to have heat races first up, 6 laps. It depends on how the sim is going to split this up, but we could have 10 to 12 cars in each of these heat races. Top 2 will advance, and you have to take the Joker lap once. The semifinals: 2 races, up to 13 cars in each, 8 laps, Joker twice. Top 3 will advance. And then the final: 10 cars, 12 laps, 12 cars, 10 laps, it's been a while, and 2 Jokers. As it's going to be very interesting as we get ready into today's race. Normally, this is the point in time where I would go over all the championships, but it's a clean championship. You'll notice on the scoring pylon, once we get through there, that Luke Krause, defending champion, has the red plate. Everybody else with a blue number plate. And I don't know if Dylan Livengood's back up here yet, but Chad Irvine, I'll ask you. With a full field, we have 47 entries, and 36 of them showed up this evening. As we are running in qualifying at the moment now, as they'll have 3 laps to set the grid for the heat races here in Brands Hatch. We look at Jacob Raffos in car number 13 for Jim Beaver Esports. We know that name from the short course off-road trucks. We remember Connor Parisi when he was here in NASA Rallycross, and now Jacob Raffos holding the baton for that team in a beautiful livery in that Subaru. It's a bit of a joke inside the NASA Discord, where literally half the entries not only are from Ray Kingsbury and KES Industries, but they're all Subarus. We literally have like 5 Fords and 5 Volkswagens, but that doesn't matter. We've seen in NASCAR with the 6 Toyotas against the monstrosity of Chevrolets that they can take the fight to that different manufacturer as well.
Well, and to be honest with you, Josh, we've kind of always had that issue.
Hello, Dylan Livengood.
Why,
How
hello.
are you?
I'm great. I'm going to see an action-packed night of racing here, and going to be fun. I'm glad to spend it with you.
As for those of you new to the NASA Rallycross Challenge, I always hate this. And yes, Chad roasted me on the Discord about bringing up the stats thing. But just so everyone knows, Dylan Livengood, 4-time champion, pioneer, along with me, 13-time race winner, 6-time champion, 40 race wins. But that was way back on the NASCAR 2003 days. I opened up the MRT retirement home, and I remembered to put my headset on for today. As Cody Erdman's not here, dealing with some personal commitments, we wish him the best, as I think he had to fix his wheel on his wheelchair in the retirement home and ran out of time because he forgot how to bolt that back together.
So sad.
As one of the bigger storylines, I say big because he's been here forever, Chris Wetz in 17th spot. He has raced every single season. The only driver to race every single season, and he's sitting in 19th, currently 20th. Not that bad, considering that I would like to think he's one of us still, and he's used to those older cars that we used to run.
Yeah, definitely. He's a pioneer, not having the same success that he had over in the old days. But definitely, if you're racing for like 15th or something like that, he's a force to be reckoned with. He'll race you like, you're racing for any other position.
As this circuit, very unique. As Chad, go ahead. As Kraus went to the top, as I thought he was on our stream, but he was not. He was just letting us know. Luke Kraus to the top, 2/10 ahead of Jacob Raffos. We're going to pay attention to this track. You notice you don't take the full turn one here in Brands Hatch. You kind of dive down into the infield, into a left-right chicane, back out onto the road course, up the hill to turn 3, around the hairpin, and over that jump there. So this track kind of uses part of the road course and part of the dirt that surrounds it. As at least on my feed, I'm trying to find a driver that we can pick up. Looks like Matt Powers we can pick up here in the 237 over the jump. So down the hill, normally you turn left on the asphalt, but we're going to go up the hill onto the dirt. And this is very tricky to get right because the grass just kind of begins there. There's no real defined line, which I've always had trouble here when I would run. Joker to the right, or to the left in this instance, around the corner, driver's right I should say, and that Joker Dylan very bumpy on the entry.
Yeah, it's definitely a technical part of the racetrack here, so if you're not careful, you'll find yourself out of control.
As we have just over a minute left until we begin the heat races, be sure to join the conversation, hashtag ASNTVUSA, hashtag NASA Rallycross, throughout today's race. You can follow NASA on all of these social platforms at NASA on iRacing. Glad you could have you with us for today's event. As we're on board Robbie Larill in the 213 as we take a ride on this track. Braking point very hard to get right, at least for me. I always brake too early or I brake too late. Hard right-hand corner, clip the handbrake just a little bit, get the car to rotate. Turns 2 and 3, left-right chicane, clip the curb. Don't hit the sign because you'll get a track cutting violation there. Don't hit the wall either, you get sucked in. And Robbie Larill, pioneer of this line, dives it into the corner, runs the sand like the cushion at a dirt track, off the corner, over the jump. And it's just a level of perfection that I could never get.
And the big thing about that corner, Josh, is that you have such a long straightaway, one of the longer straightaways on the course. So he's just trying to set up the big run into that uphill section you were talking about. So just a different line, different philosophy, but he makes it work.
Yeah, and Josh, I got a question, race control question. Are they calling track limits on the sand potentially, or is that off the table?
I'm going to assume no, as I am not a part of that call anymore. So I'm going to assume not. So we will have to see.
Be interesting to see you can run that line and really make a difference.
So the grid for heat number 1, as we catch up with our graphics, Luke Kraus.
The graphic for some reason. But...
Not sure it's going to pop up, but that's okay. Luke Kraus, Christian Lindo, Sabian Ragster, Magnus Okenhaug, Bodie Cryer, Tyler Campbell, Matt Powers, Christian Ost, Chris Wetz, Brock Quinn, and Jack Belton. 6 laps, Joker once, and the top 2 will go to the feature race. As we take a look at the weather for just a moment, beautiful day. A little bit windy, so we'll see if that affects the drivers over the jump.
Yeah, I know historically the wind came into play a whole lot back in the day.
As I recall, at Negus, we have that huge jump in Colorado, and the wind from the mountains would blow your car all over the place. You have to make sure you hit the brakes, otherwise you're going to go up to the sky. Launch controls are set. Everyone getting ready for the first green flag of the 2022 A season. Green flag Off the line, Luke Kraus gets a great jump over Lindo into turn number 1. 3 wide, it's Ragster, Cryer, and that is Ogenhaug on the outside. Ogenhaug pins the handbrake and gets squeezed, or squeezes Cryer in the 0-5. Kraus out front, out and away from the rest of the field. Austin Quinn contact in the back with Belton. So not a good day. Kraus runs it wide in car number 1. And I don't think that that's going to be track limits. Of course, we'll have to see. But Luke Kraus out to an early lead. And just like what he's been doing over the past 2 seasons, pulling away, and we know how fast Christian Lindo is. He won the first round of the championship last season, got penalized due to some aggressive driving, so we didn't see him for the rest of the season. But I think this is going to be one of the big battles. Jokering on the first lap is Okenhagen, car number 26, the Norwegian, as we focus on Ragster and Cryer. Kraus pulls away 0.8 of a second ahead. As jokers Aust and Belton, they jokered as well. So did Wetz in the 71. As we focus on Cryer here in the 0-5.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed about our leader, Luke Kraus, is that he uses basically all the real estate that there is on the racetrack. He has a very wide entry to a lot of these corners and is stringing them together quite nicely.
As we'll take a look, 1.1 seconds, 1.2 now is the gap from Kraus to Lindo. As I feel like we're in the twilight zone as Wetz jokered on the first lap of the race. I'm not sure what series we're in anymore because normally Wetz jokers on the last lap of the race. And we notice there on the scoring pylon who has jokered and who has not. We'll keep an eye on lap times here throughout this first heat race to see if anybody has the upper hand over anybody else. Really over the curb was Ragster. Into the wall was Lindo. As we'll notice here, the dirt obviously is set over asphalt in some portions, so throughout the race, these guys are going to get down to the asphalt, and we're going to get a lot of grip. But some parts like this are on grass, so you have to be able to maintain the heads-up awareness, Dylan, of the surface changing at any point.
Yeah, every time that surface changes, it changes lap by lap, so you're constantly having to adjust your driving style and driving habits throughout the race.
As jokering is Lindo in the 0-24. Kraus will hold the lead as we take cross flags in Great Britain. Ragster on the outside of Lindo. Ragster sneaks past him in the 91 and takes the spot, as I'll have to take a look on the timing. Ragster has not jokered in the 91. And Lindo has.
With the power move.
Ragster over the jump in the 91, ahead of Lindo, so the Woven Planet racing team. Ahead of one of the numerous KES Last Lap Motorsports cars. If I were to show you the spreadsheet and show you the 20 cars, you would get as confused as I am, and I run the whole show. So, let's not go...
It kind of reminds me of Subaru MRT days.
I guess that is true. I had like 12 cars when the field was 13 cars. 2 laps to go for Luke Kraus in car number 1. Like I mentioned earlier on, if you're new to NASA Rallycross, he has the red number plate, much like Supercross and Motocross, to designate that he is the championship leader coming into the championship as the defending champion. As you'll say, there is no championship leader. Lindo clips the curb. I thought he was going to go around. He's fighting, I would say, a little bit too hard for this, Dylan, as he has a joke.
Oh, no.
As Ragster gets nudged there. He skips the jump. I'm not sure. He gives up a little bit of time. So I was just about to say, because he jokered and Ragster did not. Maybe there's going to be a battle here unless Lindo lets him by. So let's watch and see how this unfolds for the next couple of corners.
Yeah, I believe Lindo just wanted to make the pass if he's going to do it fair and square, but not going to be able to get to him.
We take the white flag up front, not missing anything. Luke Kraus leads by a healthy margin ahead of Savian Ragster and Christian Lindo. The gap is 4.5 seconds from Kraus to Ragster. No, it's 6.6 now that it's updated. So Ragster has not jokered. Lindo has. Lindo's going to have to make something happen here in the 024 because I think the Joker, I could be wrong, but I think it's faster. As we get confirmed by Chad Irvine. Again, not sure if he was unmuted, but it is slower, as he says. So it has been a hibernating winter for me. I haven't really paid attention, and Ragster gets nudged again by Lindo, who gets shoved out of the way by Bodie Cryer in the 05.
Oh man, this is gonna be a mess to sort out after the race.
It's Luke Krause, uncontested, for the race win, and Bodie Cryer is gonna luck his way. If I was in the spot, I'd say that. Luck his way into a transfer spot here in Great Britain. Cryer comes home second. Third is Lindo. Fourth is Ragster. I have voice chat muted, but I'm sure there's a bit of a party going on in the most negative of ways. Ragster, Okenhaug, Powers, Ost, Campbell, Belton, Quinn, and Wetz. And for the first time this season, Matt Kingsbury's chat has been disabled.
Oh boy.
You want to take a shot?
Unfortunately, I don't drink anymore.
I just realized that as I asked you that. I apologize. I'll take 2 shots. I'll take one for you.
There you go.
To answer your question, if you're unmuted, Lindo on thin ice, I believe so. Yes. As we get ready for the second heat race, this turn 1 is always tricky, but especially here because it's essentially less than a 90 right. It's tighter than that. So if you don't get a good run, you're into the fence. So let's take a look. Raffos, Larill, Robichaux, Clog, Crosgrove, Lambert, Forster, Kingsbury, McKenna, Peterson, Moftaw. Lambert, the inaugural champion of the I almost called it Sim Racer Coin. Good advertising, Miguel Gomez. KES Industries, NASA Rallycross Challenge. I feel like Rick Allen there. And I wouldn't worry about the starting grid graphic, chat. I don't think that's going to work all night. Welcome to NASA. So we get ready for the green flag of Heat 2. Green flag off the line. Raffos gets a good jump over Larill. Clog on the outside of the 213, down to corner number 1. Contact Forster with Robichaux blocking the inside. It's him and McKenna in the 11.
I believe that was his own doing.
Corners. You got to keep up with Raffos. We know, super quick, the young Norwegian, way out into the sand. It is like a cushion. You send it in there and it just sticks over the jump. Raffos ahead of Larill, Clog, Robichaux, Kingsbury, Crosgrove, Lambert side by side with Moftaw, the Egyptian, in the 191.
Gets in contact.
Nudges Lambert and sends him wide in the 46. And a big, I don't even know
contact
where
between
to
the
go
93 and the 195 or 199.
I went to pay attention to that, and I see cars everywhere, and I can't even think of the words to say. Welcome again to NASA Rallycross, where words are made up and the rules don't matter. Raffos leads, jokering. Forster sends Moftaw to the grass in the Joker. And up front, Raffos leads Larill ahead of Peterson, Clog, and Crosgrove, the top 5.
Yeah, these guys are being super aggressive.
You have to, though. With this first round of races, you only have the top 2. It's a lot like when we first started, with the heat races only advancing 2. Granted, we didn't have 11 cars per heat, but that's also part of it. Because you get spread out, and there's not much time with only 6 laps.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, one thing I've noticed on this simulator is once you give up time, it's really, really hard to get it back.
As Peterson holding the 3rd spot, he lets Clog go in the 199, so move Clog to 3rd. Larill jokers in the 213. I don't think Raffos has jokered in the 13. He has not. We'll see how the jokers begin to unravel. As single file through the field here, not a lot of side-by-side. Moftaw off the road in the 191. Too wide. Where was I looking? It was Forster and Peterson. As I'll try and take a look, it looked like it was Crosgrove, my apologies there, nudged into Peterson, sent them both wide. So once we get the timing updated, it's not battling for a transfer spot, unfortunately, there. As through the field, very calm after the first couple of instances of contact there. But it's nearly a 6-second gap from Raffos to Larill. If we look at lap times, 54.412 to a 55.9, second and a half. Wow. But we know Raffos is quick. Like I said, the young Norwegian, if I'm not mistaken, 13 years old. So, super quick.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing how young
line,
this.
Dylan.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see how young the talent is. It just keeps getting younger and younger. It seems like every season, which is really cool. I mean, that means that they're gonna, only mature as drivers. Sometimes you can get a little bit of immaturity just because of the age, but these guys definitely putting on a display.
And for all of the old guard that may be viewing us here in the Automotive Sports Network, I think of Dylan Smith back when we first started.
Absolutely.
As Dylan Smith was the youngest winner in NASA Rallycross competition, obviously uprooted there by Raffos, but Dylan Smith over the years matured, and I expect to see the same from Raffos in car number 13. 2 laps to go. Not a lot's been happening as we notice the gaps there, as the second heat race has always been a little odd. It takes kind of the middle guys in the pack and puts them in their own race, but there's such a huge pace difference between these guys. We'll see a lot of action in the semifinals in just a couple minutes.
Absolutely.
As we take a look, this is Cosgrove and Forster. This is a battle, I should say, for fourth. A couple of Subarus. It's one of the KES cars and one of the Team Watson Racing cars battling for this position. As Raffos took the white flag, I'm taking a look off monitor as Russell Peterson off the track in car number 9. I'm trying to see what happened. He was running in the 7th position. He clipped the tire barrier and rolled it in the Subaru and landed on the tire barrier.
Oh boy, that takes talent.
So, not a good day. As we pay attention to this battle for fourth once again. Forster, the inside of Cosgrove. Clean move. Makes it stick. But he gets nudged by Cosgrove over the jump. Straightens it out.
Saves it.
Wide in the corner. Good run off of the corner as a result. Pushes him wide. We're not missing anything up front. Raffos wins heat number 2. We're going to focus on this battle. Larill comes home in second. So this battle is for a better gate pick in the semifinal. Cosgrove's going to back up the corner, try and get a better run, but perfect defense from Ben Forster in the Subaru off of the final corner. Clog comes home in third. Forster will come home in fourth. Fifth will be Cosgrove. What a battle there. Sixth is Lambert. Seventh will be Carson McKenna. Eighth, Matt Kingsbury. Ninth, looks like Marwan Moftah. 10th, what happened to Larill?
That's a good question.
Unless he's still on track, timing probably just hasn't caught up yet. Because I was flicking through the people, and it said that he was still on track, and I got really confused. So we're just a little rusty here. It's okay. Our third and final heat, ladies and gentlemen, of tonight's evening. Adam Alderton, Dave Schofield, Ray Kingsbury, Kieran Forrest, Connor Martell, yes, the same Global Rallycross driver, Connor Martell, Justin Peck, I don't want to butcher it, but Cao Pellegrini, should have asked that before the race. Once again, welcome to NASA. Victor Aldrich, Matthew Lind, Sean Perriot. So a little bit of manufacturer representation, manufacturer parity in this race. We're going to have one more heat race to decide. 5th and 6th, green flag. Forrest got a great jump compared to Schofield. Schofield's going to put his teammate nearly into the grass. Into turn 1, Alderton leads. Kingsbury gets nudged by Pellegrini and contact into the wall. It's Schofield. I thought he got stuck, but he didn't. Through turns 2 and 3, the chicane, very sloppy for third on back, but the first two love this one. Martell into the third spot. Where did he come from? And Pellegrini in second as well. Forrest, Peck, Kingsbury, Aldrich hits the wall, Periel, Lind, Schofield. Alderton leads. Side by side, it's Kingsbury ahead of Peck. Peck looks like he got a slowdown in the 49. Jokering on the first opportunities, Forrest and Kingsbury, along with Pellegrini in the 0-4, leading at the first, or at the end of the first lap, I should say, Adam Alderton in car number 33. Martel gets put into the second position with the strategy rotating. So we'll see what he can do in yet another KES LLM car. Pellegrini, last-minute addition to that roster. As we look at Ray Kingsbury in the 25. The one Kingsbury brother that does not have a win. He's gotten close numerous times, but he could never seal the deal.
Yeah, he did not have a good start, as we saw, and he's just trying to work his way back up to the front. He's got the talent to make it to the feature. We'll have to see if he can pull off some magic here and advance straight from the heats.
As Periol, Lind, Schofield, as I get corrected by Chad Irvine. Chow. I did not understand that one when I should have asked. Like I said, my apologies. So we're going to take cross flags next lap. We're going to see some rotation here. Alderton has jokered already, so he's taken the slow path out of the way. These guys are battling as Martel into the wall. What happened to the 021? I'm not entirely sure. Now he's back on track. So we will see what happens, but he is taken out of a transfer spot.
There's 3 cars for the last 2 transfers, and Kingsbury then into the wall, and he backs us straight into Aldrich.
And then who gets hit by Peck? It's an accordion effect in the dirt. And that's the problem with the dirt being walled in like a street circuit. One car bounces off the wall, blocks the track for everybody. Contact with Pellegrini and Forrest! Off screen there. Pellegrini tried the outside move on Forrest. Or sorry, he ran it wide. Forrest tried the inside, but either way, they came together. Cross flags for Alderton in the 33. Sitting in the transfer is Big Dog Forrest in car number 52. Both of them are taking their jokers, so is Kingsbury. So we'll see how the lap times unravel. But Alderton loves this in car number 33.
Yeah, he's just run away and hid so far, and so we're coming up on 2 to go here in this heat, and these guys are just making these things fly on by.
We're gonna take a look as one car off. It's Aldrich. He ends up to the inside of the barrier there. I thought he was gonna end up impaling somebody, but luckily the barrier's there. But when it rains, it pours for Victor Aldrich. If I'm not mistaken, that's who sent me into the fence in Road America in the Championship Series. So, well, I should say sent myself into the fence. I knew you were going to reply with something.
He's good people. He's good people.
I'm not saying he's not. I just remember getting sent into the fence because I thought it was a good idea to block him all the way to the grass. But neither here nor there. Kieran Forrest still holds the second spot. Kingsbury over in the 25. He gets sent to the moon. And I can't come up with anything clever for that one aside from just barrel rolling and ending up almost turtled.
And he's going to drop all the way back down to 8. That's going to really hurt his starting spot here coming up in the LCQs.
Looks like Periol, I think he took 2 jokers. So the 118 will be disqualified from this heat race. And he'll have to go through the LCQ while he's sitting in 7th. I think Ray Kingsbury's just about to go over that. I'm looking at Matthew Lind, who has ended up in the wall. Victor Aldrich has ended up in the wall as well. I'll try and take a look.
Contact between them.
They did come together over the jump. That's not the first time we saw that. We saw it last heat race, I believe.
Yeah, these guys, once they get airborne, there's no steering the car at all.
As the track wear to answer the chat's question, track wear will reset as the track crew comes out and fixes that up, I believe, before the semifinals, at least before the feature race. And think of Austin Faulkner and I think it was Jet Lawrence in the Supercross race last weekend. That happened on the bikes, and it happens in the cars in Rallycross as well. Adam Alderton, his first appearance, he will win heat number 3 And big dog Kieran Forrest will come home in second. He will be the second car to transfer out of this heat race, as Ciao Pellegrini comes home in third ahead of Justin Peck. What an eventful heat race for the lower positions. It seems like it's been that theme all evening long. Dave Schofield will come home in fifth. Connor Martell in sixth. Ray Kingsbury, after barrel rolling, comes home in seventh. Remember, Periol has been disqualified, so it looks like Victor Aldrich, Lind, and then Periol will round out our field. So Dylan, Chad, we got a couple seconds here. Our first round of races, what'd you think?
Definitely really exciting. It's interesting to see how hard these guys are battling for the first turn. Whoever gets the whole shot, man, it seems like they are on their way out to the lead.
It was Big Dog and Connor Parisi, yes. So now we will have 13 cars battling into turn number 1. But this time you have 8 laps, and the top 3 will transfer. So get ready with the oxygen mask, because I'll probably run out of oxygen here in just a minute. Lindo, Pellegrini, Forster, Okenhaug, Schofield, Lambert, Ost, Martell, Kingsbury, Belton, Lind, Robichaux, Wetz, 8 laps, 2 jokers, top 3 transfer. Put the hard hats on, Mr. Safety. Green flag in Great Britain. Off the line. Pellegrini gets a good jump, but he was going to send Lindo to the grass into turn 1. Lindo, no, it was Forster. And like I said, everybody crashes, and I can't even keep up. One car upside down. It's Jack Belton in the 17. Pellegrini, Forster, Kingsbury in the 21. Make sure we unplug his radio. Let's recap. Lindo, Okenhow, contact with Robichaux and Schofield. Robichaux backs up into Lind. And Lindo, Okenhow, Lambert sitting in the transfer spots after half a lap. And what did I tell you about turn 1? Mr. Safety, you might have to grab your hard hat from the Rocket League card, Dylan. And we've only got 7 more laps of this.
This is going to be absolutely nuts. This is going to be interesting to see if the guys in the top 3 can handle their own and make it through and transfer.
Now, and of course, like we mentioned, you'll hear a lot of the old school NASA with this show. We used to run 8-lap finals with 2 jokers. This is basically one of those, but you have transfer spots involved. So if I was in it, I would behave a little bit different. But these guys, you have one shot. This is it to get into the feature race. So you have those 2 bits of strategy. We've seen them being used at various points. If you were driving on this track, would you joker early? Would you joker late? What track does it remind you of in the old days?
You know, I think at this track I would definitely send it through the joker pretty early, to be honest with you. This track reminds me of kind of like the Proving Grounds, to be honest with you.
With the longer
big pile
joker.
into turn 1, and then
yes,
some technical hills and all that.
As Lindo, Okenhaug, Schofield, as it looks like Lambert, if I take a look, Lambert's got both of his jokers taken care of right away. Schofield is not. So if I was Okenhaug, I would probably joker soon, just so I'm not stuck battling a car that has not taken its strategy. As Connor Martell in the 021 has taken one of his jokers as well. Wetz has taken both of them. I don't know who this guy is who's replaced Chris Wetz, but he's really confusing me, taking his jokers at the beginning. We will see if there's any strategy taken. Schofield will joker. This battle for second will heat up. Is the first bit of strategy taken care of. I should correct myself. I think it'll be the battle for third. No, Lambert's further back than I thought. Interesting to see. Lindo's taken both of his jokers so far. As we begin lap number 4, he is out and away by almost 3 seconds, over 3 seconds now, in the 024. Lindo,
Yeah, and
Oakenhaug,
Lambert,
Schofield,
even though he's not going
Lambert.
to make the final, it is cool to see him run relatively well in this race.
I wouldn't say that because he's taken both of his jokers. Schofield and Oakenhaug still have one left. And with the rotation that I think it is, he might be a pinch too far away, but we'll have to see. Oakenhaug jokers in the 26. We'll focus on Lambert in the 46, the American from Alabama, the inaugural champion of this championship. And just like I thought, nowhere close. I think it's really going to be down to Schofield's joker as we take cross flags here. We're not missing anything through the field.
This race is just so long that I'm sure it's hard to get into a rhythm, after it being a little bit longer than the heats.
Lindo, Schofield, Oakenhaug sits in our transfer spots. Lambert, Martell, Wetz through to 6th. Ost, Pellegrini, Lind, Robichaux, Forster, Belton, and Kingsbury. Belton back running in the 17, sitting in the 12th position. They have not... Schofield has not taken his joker yet, so I think he's really the key here to see if Lambert will potentially transfer, but I think Schofield has faster lap times. Let's see, 56.4, 56.7, so it was 0.3 there. A big part of it was surviving the melee of turn 1, which I think Lambert got caught up in.
No, Lambert got caught up in turn 2 or 3, whatever you want to call it, actually. So he did get wrecked, but making a good comeback.
One guy that loves this is Lindo. He was able to take the lead. Like I said, he got almost sent to the grass, held his line, and pulling away. I'm going to take 2 laps to go. I expect Schofield the joker at the very end. So I see Lambert's transfer chances dwindling in the 46 as we focus there on David Schofield in car number 27. 2 laps to go. Side-by-side battle, we were looking at Forster and Lind. One car off the road for a moment. It looked like, I think it was Robichaux. So the Canadian not having a good evening either. We're still going to focus. These are the 2 closest cars that we have, Forster and Lind. This is a battle for 9th spot. Last lap for Forster was a 57.239. Last lap for Lind was a 59.677, so there had to be some form of issue on the 0-3. As we go back to the race leader, Christian Lindo will take the white flag. Let's see if the joker has been changed, or Schofield confirming what I thought. He's going to joker on this last opportunity to seal his transfer here, but we've seen anything happen, Dylan. Usually happens anyways.
Yeah, we've come down to having the last lap decide plenty of times.
Leisurely up the hill, leisurely down the hill, and down the back straightaway as we use the Indy course, they call it here at Brands Hatch, for the asphalt. Very calm and collected, Christian Lindo in the 0-24. Schofield will joker in the 27. Miles ahead of Lambert in the 46. Off the final corner, Lindo wins semi-final A ahead of the 27 of Schofield. Oakenhaug comes home in 3rd. So coming home in 13th overall, Lambert. 15th, Connor Martell. 17th, Wetz. 19th, Ost. 21st, Pellegrini. 23rd, Forster. 25th, Lind. 27th will be, looks like Belton. 29th will be Robichaux. And 31st, Matt Kingsbury. After the calamity of turn 1. And we got one more left.
Yeah, that was just an insane race there from the start, and the huge wreck that we had to just everybody trying to work their way and playing their strategy. It was definitely an interesting one to watch as the race went on.
As this will determine our last 3 seeds of the feature race here in Great Britain. Josh Clogg, Sabian Ragster, Justin Peck, Cody Crosgrove. Let me click this button here that organizes the grid for me and makes my job much better. As Matt Powers is apparently Adam Thomas is Matt Powers on our graphic, which is really good. Ray Kingsbury, Carson McKenna, Tyler Campbell, Victor Aldrich, Marwan Moftah, Brock Quinn, Sean Periel, and Russell Peterson. Another 8 laps, 2 jokers. I think you should just really show this from the chopper cam, because, I don't know, we're just going to expect calamity here in Great Britain. We'll expect Clogg to get a great run off the line. Green flag. Ragster and Clogg, one car backed up. It was one of, I think it was Moftah, down to turn number 1. Clean for the top 3, top 4, very clean until you reach mid-pack.
I think that's the cleanest start
Argy Bargy for the lead. Ragster pushes Clogg out of the way and put Ragster to the lead. Justin Peck to the inside of Clogg in the 199. Much cleaner, 3 wide. Through the middle went Tyler Campbell of Moftah and Kingsbury, and he gets a couple positions. Contact over the jump, it was Crosgrove there. Up the hill, Ragster leads. Clogg in second. They got a little argy-bargy as well going through the dirt. As Peck in third. Powers in fourth. Remember, apparently he's Adam Thomas on our graphic. Moftah, jokering is Kingsbury, so he will be the first car to take the strategy. Hits the bumps and into the wall. Goes Kingsbury in the 25. Crosgrove to the inside.
And look at how bumpy that Joker is. That's going to throw off cars every single time around here. And these guys not handling it well early on in this heat or his semifinal.
But Ray powered his way out of that Joker even after hitting the wall and held the spot. One around, it's Moftah in the 191. Thought he was stuck in the wall there for the moment, but he's not now.
Thankfully didn't collect anybody with him, but now Ray Kingsbury seems like he's holding up a line of cars here.
Powers to the inside of Peck, gets turned over the jump. And we thought that Powers could take the fight, but he could not. Contact over the jump. So let's get a reset. Ragster, Clogg jokers, Peck in third. Those are the transfer cars after a lap and 3/4. As apparently we've lost Dylan Livengood for whatever reason for the moment. So I guess it's me and you, Chad.
Actually, I'm back now.
As we have gotten Dylan Livengood back.
Typical NASA fashion.
Hey.
Typical NASA fashion. You'll hear that so many times throughout this season because over the 10 years there are so many memes that have happened.
So many good memories too. Just, you know, people come to NASA and they just have a good time. Is kind of the consensus that I came up with. Oh, is Peterson stuck in the wall?
Who let him out of the nursing home? Not Peterson. Who let you out of the nursing home? Russell Peterson stuck in the wall. So let's get a recap. Let's try and find a race leader, Sabian Ragster, in the 91. Beautiful pass in the chicane to take the lead. I don't think he has taken a joker yet. He has not. Ahead of Josh Clogg, who has. Ray Kingsbury has. Who was third? Justin Peck is jokered in the 49, so put him back a couple spots. Kingsbury runs it wide in car 25. And this is going to get interesting because everybody here has taken a joker. One car, it was Campbell ran it wide. What happened there? Was it a slowdown? No, he over-rotated. That's so easy to do in these cars.
The big thing about the Team Watson guys is they're all running the Beetle because they're just like me. They're cheap as heck, and they don't want to spend any money on new cars.
Oh, just like when you put my face on the front of your car. You got that decal from a bargain mart. It's okay. You can admit it. They sold all my merch when I retired. It's okay. Ragster holds the lead. I wouldn't laugh, Dylan. Your merch is worth 2 cents compared to mine is 10 cents.
Yeah, I think my merch just went to Africa for the poor people there.
On that note, Welcome to NASA. Welcome to NASA Rallycross. Fabian Ragster still holds the lead. Cross flags. One car slow on the front straightaway. It looked like it was Sean Perriot in the 118. Ragster, I know we're not focused on him, but he just took the jump so hard he almost rolled it.
Yeah,
in the
Ragster's on a
91.
ragged edge.
Clog in the 199 holds second. Kingsbury. So Ragster has one car around. It was McKenna. It was for 10th. As I'm flicking through the field here, I'm just trying to see. Ragster has not jokered. Clog has taken both. Kingsbury, thank you, Chad, making my life so much easier. So our graphics have to be updated as McKenna's off the road. So Ragster with such a huge lead. Clog has just finished his strategy. I don't know, honestly, if Ragster's going to hold this lead, because Clog was half a second faster that last lap. Going to come to 2 laps to go. He's going to have to joker. The only bit of strategy that he can pull is if he jokers now. He does not, so he is guaranteeing himself to joker on the last 2 laps. If I'm looking at distance-wise, I think it's going to be a close battle, especially because Clog's going to have the asphalt coming off the final corner. And I think, if I recall correctly, that's what happened with Big Dog versus Connor Parisi that, I think it was last season, or last year, I should say, when they had that photo finish, because one car coming off the dirt, obviously you're not going to have as good a traction as the asphalt car.
Yeah, and half a second got shaved off of that lead last lap, so it's going to be close.
As we're not missing anything for the transfer, Ray Kingsbury holds that spot ahead of... It is Campbell battling with Prosgrove. Campbell's a ping pong ball in this race. And Peck in the 49. So if anything goes wrong with these guys, expect something. Ragster jokers for the first time. And that's going to exactly do what I thought it was. The gap has been cut almost in half. White flag for Ragster. This isn't a big deal to transfer. But again, guys, it is for a better gate pick. And Clog is there. There is nothing between those two.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think this is kind of the reason why I would want a joker early at a track like this, just so you can control your own fate a little bit better.
Especially with, even with the dirt when it rubbers in, you would still want to be able to joker and get the slower laps out of the way. I thought a lot of St. Eustache when I saw this track with the longer joker.
That's true. Very true.
Interesting, St. Eustache. And let's not reminisce. Clog passes Ragster before the joker. Side by side, Ragster has to joker on the white flag lap. So we'll put Clog through to the lead. As I was going to say, interesting, I think that it's like those 2 tracks because I was successful there, but take me and put me back in the nursing home. Josh Clog wins semifinal B ahead of Sabian Ragster. And Ray Kingsbury will be our 12th and final seed this evening in Great Britain. 14th will be Tyler Campbell. 16th, Justin Peck. 18th, Victor Aldrich. 20th will be Sean Perriot in the 118. 22nd, Cody Crosgrove. 24th, Brock Quinn. 26th, Marwan Moftah. 28th, according to our graphic, Adam Thomas, but it's Matt Powers.
Yeah, whoever made these graphics sucks at their job.
That's me. I take the blame. Carson McKenna and Russell Peterson will round out our field. 5 minutes, track reset. I'm going to take a breather. I'll be hanging around, though. And you guys can either chat or we'll hear some cars. Either way, we'll be here. We'll be hanging out after a frantic first couple rounds of racing here in Brands Hatch.
Well, everybody, it's a fantastic start to the season so far, and we still have more racing yet to come here from Brands Hatch across the pond. We have to thank everybody that helps put on this event, whether that's Pit Viper, KES Industries, everybody here behind the scenes at NASA and the Automotive Sports Network. Everybody that helps put these things on. It's fantastic to be back out here for yet another season. And of course, all the team sponsors as well, as they all put their names all over these race cars. We have to say thank you to all of them. Here's a look at your defending series champion in the number 1, Luke Kraus, working his way here through practice. A couple other drivers out there right now. Rafos, Robbie Larreal, and Alderton, the only 3 so far that have taken a time. Looks like Adam's actually back into the pits. So Jacob Rafos still working. Then the track state did reset, so these guys trying to get themselves set back up once again. Looking forward to seeing how this season plays out. Don't forget, next week we are at Knock Hill for the Mellon Grand Prix, or Mellon. I'm sorry to our sponsor. I'm terrible at pronouncing that one. And then we go to Hell. So we start our season over across the pond in Europe with week 2 at Knock Hill, round 3 as at Hell, and then we go to Barcelona for the OMP Grand Prix, or whatever name we come up with for it. It's not a Grand Prix, it's a Rallycross race. True Speed, Mafta Esports, KES Industries, Gear 49, 90-something Studios, and VSC. We got a couple weeks here, though, before the Sports Car Challenge starts off, and that starts at Road America on March 17th, and we're looking forward to that one. Those are going to be on Thursday nights this season with an 8:45 green flag on Thursday nights. So those start up in 2 weeks, March 17th from Road America. So new tracks, a lot of international circuits this season from Motegi, Okayama, Spa, Hockenheim. My favorite I'm looking forward to the most, I think, is the Chicago Street Course makes its debut in the Penguin RC Sports Car Challenge this season. And we do wrap the season up at the road course at Indianapolis, going back to another track that we haven't been to in quite some time, I feel like, in the series, as we look forward to it. As right now, just working our way through just over a minute left in practice. You see the full list of drivers, but only, I think, 12 of them are going to be running in this session, and those are going to be your 12 drivers that qualified for your feature. This is still a look at Jacob Rafos, who's gone up to the top of the timing charts by a considerable margin over Josh Klog and Kieran Big Dog Forrest. As we continue to watch these guys just churn lap after lap and trying to break in this track as much as they can. There you see some more of the sponsors on these cars. Dirtfish has been around the real world and sim racing game for a hot minute with all that they do in the iRacing world, as well as Robbie Larreal running the Fisher Disc Golf Machine. And Ian Fisher, the namesake of that car, not here tonight, I don't believe, but still getting his name out there. Gotta support all the disc golf people because I play a lot of that game. So anyway, they're out here for a minute. Oh, Ian Fisher failed to qualify, one of the 2 drivers that was sent home, the other being Mario Bonfante Jr., one of the guys behind Keep 'Em Spinning, the other driver did not qualify. So those are the 2 drivers that did not make the field, but we are coming here to the end of the warm-up from Brands Hatch, and with that, we will send it back to Josh Mertz, the voice of the NASA Rallycross Challenge.
Thank you, Chad. Welcome, everyone, to the 207th round of the championship overall and round number 1 of the 25th season of the KES Industries NASA Rallycross Challenge presented by Vermont Sports Cars. It's Josh Mertz. Dylan Livengood's off doing something somewhere. He hasn't gotten here.
Here I am.
Back here. Hi, you're back. and Chad Irvine. Couple partners before we get going. Remember, Keep 'em Spinning Industries, KES Industries, Adaptive Controls for Sim Racing, Vermont Sports Car, the exclusive home of Subaru Motorsports USA, and Pit Viper. Demand, respect, and authority. Thank you so much for our partners today and throughout the season for the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Two-time defending champion Luke Kraus, car number 1 on pole position. Jacob Raffos, Adam Alderton, Bodie Cryer, Robbie Larill, Kieran Forrest, Christian Lindo, Josh Clogg, David Schofield, Sabian Ragster, Magnus Okenhaug, Ray Kingsbury, 12 cars, 10 laps, hard hats, Mr. Safety, green flag in Great Britain, off the line. Raffos gets a better jump than the defending champion first phase, down to turn 1. Klaus is going to have a better run down to the first corner. They both are side by side. Contact mid-pack. Forrest gets sent out wide. Alderton in the fence as well. Ragster 3 wide with Lindo. Alderton into the wall. It was Schofield. Okenhaug around as well. Pushing it out wide was Larill, shoved Lindo out wide, and Raffos leads ahead of Kraus and Bodie Cryer. Larill, Lindo, Clogg, Ragster, Kingsbury, Schofield, Forrest, Okenhaug, Alderton, the running order, down the hill, down the backstretch. For the first time, Jokers, what will happen on the first opportunity? Nobody takes the Joker. Remember, you'd have to clean up that dirt as it was cleaned. Sideways is Larill in the 213 to the inside. Lindo, he snuck in there. He made a gap. He made it work. He's still trying to battle on the inside, but Raffos leads at the end of the first lap. I need to take a breath. What is going on in Great Britain?
So the big thing
Huge
here,
battle between Lindo and
Larill.
Larill.
The thing about for Lindo is was on some thin ice from last season coming into this season, and he's not made very many friends out there so far. Chain reaction there between Ragster and Clogg, but they get things going back once again. Over the jump goes Lindo, still with Clogg right on his bumper. Is he going to be sent? No, Clogg thinks better of it, and he's still right there, though. These guys, Cryer, Larill, Lindo, Clogg, and Rags are all nose to tail.
If anything goes wrong between the top 3, Kraus, Raffos, Cryer, you know that they're going to pick up the pieces. Nobody, except for Josh Clogg now, has taken the Joker, and now everyone decides to clean off the Joker. It's interesting to think that no one would want to take the Joker on the first lap of the race. You'd think they got confused by the old rule. To the inside, we're looking at Ragster on Schofield. This is for the 6th position. Side by side, clean pass for Ragster. Schofield still has the outside. He's going to have the run through the chicane. Side by side through the chicane. Ragster still holds it and takes the spot now. Clogg trying to get by Schofield. Raffos and Larill battling in the back of the shot there. Raffos had a little bit of a moment exiting the corner.
And that's Clogg around. Clogg got punted over the jump. So he's facing now the wrong direction. Got to wait for traffic to clear. Wow.
Like you're getting out of the shopping plaza on Black Friday.
You would know all about that.
Unfortunately. 6 years worth. As Cryer, Joker's in the 0-5. He's going to get passed by Larill and Lindo, so I'm going to pull up and see the Joker rotation. That was the first bit of strategy from the top 7. Anybody in the top 7 will have to wait until it updates. Kraus
Josh, I would
is.
say don't quit your day job.
I'm
sure he wants to really bad.
I really do. As Raffos, Kraus, Larill. This is still a battle now. This is for 3rd. Cryer, after jokering with this battle, he's going to make it much easier to hold this 3rd spot because these guys are just racing their Delta away in the 213 and the 024.
I think if you're either of these guys here, you have to take the Joker. No, they don't. I would figure they'd want to be split up just a little bit, give themselves a little bit of a gap as Cryer takes another Joker. So this is going to be his strategy done. But these guys right here, I would expect them to want to get some clean track one way or the other. And instead, they both stay out there on track.
And a couple cars off the track. Magnus Okenhaug off the road in the 26. He is in the pit lane. Contact between Larill and Lindo. And we knew it was coming to a boiling point. And contact was made, and I'm sure Robbie Larill is not thrilled. He pulls out in front of Ray Kingsbury in the 25. And Loril, I
Gonna
can
be
tell,
plenty
He's got a bunch of damage. His car is not handling straight at all.
jokering is Kraus up front. So the first bit of strategy played by the two race leaders. Lindo jokers as well in the 024. With Cryer finishing both his jokers, he might be getting held up by Ragster here. So he needs to dispatch of Ragster as soon as he possibly can.
And it's not the easiest track to pass that. He's going to have to force his way by at some point, or just pray that Ragster takes his joker this lap.
We take the line from, or take the strategy from the previous race that Ragster was in. We know that the jokers are going to be played at the last couple of laps, the last moment, so it's just down to the pace. I'm not sure if there's spotters involved for either of those drivers, but we can expect those guys, if they have them, to be relaying this information, because Cryer has to be getting desperate now, or will be in just a couple moments. Rafos jokers in car number 13, so the top two have taken a joker, both of them. So has Lindo. Ragster has not taken his joker. Realistically, I think we're going to have to pay attention to this. No joker for Ragster. Lindo does joker in the 024, though. So his strategy will be complete. And he is very messy out of the joker.
You can see basically just a bunch of speed bumps through that joker. They do not smooth it out. It's got a couple jumps, basically like a chicane, trying to slow you down. And it does its job, as it makes it very difficult to get through that thing clean.
As now, Lindo barely in front of Ragster. Ragster still hasn't jokered. Cryer has. So this has actually put Lindo back into the fight because of Ragster. Because of being held up by Ragster. So that came sooner than I thought from Ragster to hold up Cryer there. You'll know jokers.
Yeah, no, I think that right now, if you're Bodie Cryer, you're just kind of hoping that Ragster puts some pressure on Lindo. You know that Ragster's not going to be an issue in this fight come to the last couple laps, but if you can just kind of try to force Lindo into some awkward position, get a little bit closer, you can do everything you can once it's your turn to battle with him.
Rafos, Kraus. And it shows you how important that the start is in Rallycross. As those two are out and away, we are focused on the battle for the podium position. And we know that at least Ragster, if he doesn't joker now, he's repeating the same strategy that he did before. So now Cryer has to hope that he was half a second up that last lap, but he has to hope that he has the time in order to make something happen. And he does not joker in the 91. 2 laps to go for Jacob Rafos in car number 13. Luke Kraus in car number 1, sitting in the second position. Looks like Lindo locked up the rear brakes just a pinch in the 024, holding the position ahead of Saving Ragster. Ragster, who has not jokered. Cryer's beginning to fall off. He was a second slower that last lap compared to Lindo.
I think Ragster, you might see a move out of him here into this left-hander. If he can get close enough, he's going to peek to the inside. He does not. He's not too aggressive with it, not close enough to make a move. So he's going to have to take his jokers here and is going to fall back.
White flag for Jacob Rafos in car number 13, trying to get Jim Beaver Esports a victory here in NASA Rallycross. As I don't believe that they have 5 wins, I stand corrected, with Parisi in this championship. So they are trying to tie themselves with LLM, unbelievably. Cryer gets by Ragster. I think the saying's a day late, $1 short. As Ragster peeks to the inside to take that spot away from Cryer once again. And Cryer is going to think, what could have been if I would have dispatched, or could have dispatched, of Saving Ragster.
Look how wide Cryer was there. But still, it's not going to be enough.
Exiting the Joker, Jacob Rafos will come off of the final corner, and he will become tied with Marwan Moftah. He wins in Great Britain. his third victory in the championship ahead of defending champion Luke Krause, who has been on a tear the last couple of weeks if we go back to last season. Final step on the podium, Christian Lindo in the 0.24. Bodie Cryer. It's like David Schofield was able to pip Savian Ragster for the 5th position. 7th, Ray Kingsbury. 8th, Kieran Forrest. 9th, Josh Klog. 10th, Robbie Larill, Adam Alderton, and Magnus Okenhaug, the remaining order in the feature race. And I say this with no disrespect to Ray Kingsbury, but we were joking all week long that one of his 20 cars would have won this race. And they didn't. It was a Jim Beaver Esports car that won the race.
And we've seen Jim Beaver Esports all across iRacing. They've got a large stable as well across just about every discipline, I think. I've seen them definitely on the dirt oval side. I'm pretty sure they've got stuff everywhere. So shout out to those guys getting another win under their belts for the team as we just kind of get set here for some post-race interviews. But what a fantastic opening round, Josh.
I fully expected when I see that many cars, I was expecting, especially with this turn 1, much worse. And we had a couple of issues, of course. It's understandable. It's Rallycross. Rubbin is racing. But it was a good race. The start, if this is the start of the feature, we'll notice that turn 1 from Raffos won him the race. And it's not saying that Krause is slow. We know double defending champion isn't. As we see, that's Alderton going around. That turn 1, being aggressive, forcing your way through, that is going to give Raffos the red plate going into Knockhill next week. And it's those kind of moves that you need. You can't let up when you're on the outside. And I don't know if we have... Let me take a look here. I don't know if we have Rafos, Lindo. I think we have lost Luke Krause. So what we'll do is we'll bring in Lindo here.
Like,
Hey,
As
Christian, congratulations on the podium once again. It seems to be familiar territory for you.
thanks. It was a tough race for me, but after the first heat, when I got a collision with Savian Ragster on the last lap, so it was a tough race.
Yeah, you got your strategy out of the way early, but you were able to make it up and eventually come away with the podium. What was going through your head when you decided to take your jokers early?
I don't know actually. I just listening to my spotter, Connor, who was spotting me for a race, and I'll be thankful for he was spotting me.
Yeah, it seemed to pay off there as you were battling with Savian Ragster in that feature, and you were able to make your way by. But it's a great start to the season once again for you, and congratulations on the podium. Do you have any sponsors or anybody you want to thank tonight?
I will thanks Workman Sportsman Car and of course Kes and Mario for helping me and everything, and the whole Kes team.
Yeah, it was a great start to the season for you guys, and congratulations on the podium.
Thanks.
That was Christian Lindo, the third place finisher here tonight. And now we've got your winner on tonight's race, Jacob Rafos. And Jacob, you got off to a great start right out of the gate. You got the whole shot there going into turn 1 over Luke Krause, and from there it just seemed like smooth sailing.
Yeah, that was a good race there. I literally was just praying, dude. I got at the outside. I was just, yeah, it was just an amazing race, dude. And just kept running away.
Were you concerned at all towards the end of the race when Krause had taken his jokers, but you still had one left to take?
Yeah, for sure. Krause is really fast, so I was a bit like sketchy. So I was maybe a bit under pressure.
Yeah, no, it's a great start to the season for you, and it's always feels good to get the first win under your belt. But looking forward, we got a couple more races here trying to remember where we're at next week, but I know in a couple weeks we go to Hell. What are your thoughts just on the schedule so far and what you got coming up?
Yeah, it was a pretty. Yeah, I'm excited for the next races, dude. It's gonna be a hell of a season, dude.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure. As these guys, we're taking a look at kind of some of your replays from this race, and it seemed like once you got clear of Kraus, there was no looking back. But overall, what were your thoughts from start to finish throughout the heats and everything tonight?
Yeah, the qualifying were very good. Luke was for sure really fast, had a heater there, but in heat everyone got planned, and it was just an amazing race in heat, and it came to my future and got P1.
Well, hey, congratulations on your win here tonight. And do you have anybody you want to thank or any shout outs to give tonight?
Yeah, Jim Beaver Esports, um, Dirtfish, and Next Level Racing Rig, and all those guys that helped me in the gym team.
Well, congratulations on the win and best of luck the rest of the season. That's Jacob Rufos, your winner here tonight from Brands Hatch. Remember, in 1 week's time, we head to Knock Hill, and it's going to be a fantastic bit of racing there as these guys hopefully put on another fantastic show. But that's going to wrap things up here tonight for everybody here at NASA East. Oh, I'm told not to close yet, so I'm not going to close. I'm going to have to wait and see what Josh Mertz has left to say here tonight.
As I do appreciate you handling the interviews. I greatly appreciate it as we lost Dylan Livengood. As I wanted to hear, and I know we just mentioned that, wanted to hear final thoughts from you again.
I think that there's going to be some things that need to be looked at from the stewards here tonight, and I think that some of the issues that we've seen the last couple of seasons pop back up once again. So hopefully things is just the rust getting knocked off for everybody. I hope to see things cleaned up as the season goes on. But for these guys, some great racing, but also some calamities. So hopefully NASA keeps on being NASA.
As like you had mentioned before I unfortunately rudely interrupted you, we do go to Knock Hill next week, and I haven't even looked at that track, I'll be honest, so that's going to be a fun one. Chad Irvine will not be here. I don't even know if Cody Erdman's going to be here. I think it's going to be me and Dylan Livengood like it used to be 10 years ago. And so stream quality, I hate to admit this, might be a little bit less than Mr. Irvine, but we will figure it out when we get there. From all of us at North American Simulated Auto Racing and the Automotive Sports Network, we thank you for joining us for this presentation of the KES Industries NASA Rallycross Challenge presented by Vermont Sports Car. Coverage today was brought to you by Pit Viper, Demand Respect, and Authority. As remember, Vermont Sports Car, the exclusive home of Subaru Motorsports USA, and KES Industries, Keep 'em Spinning Industries, adaptive controls for sim racing. We thank Mario Bonfante Jr. for all of your support throughout this season. For Chad Irvine and Dylan Livengood, I am Josh Mertz. We had a crazy opening round of the 25th season this evening in Brands Hatch. We're not going too far. We're staying in the United Kingdom. We will see you next week in Knock Hill. But until then, so long.